What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, and at several subscribers' requests, I would like to go through some recent sales for various items from the Clone Wars. And we've got all kinds of different card backs. We've got the animated cartoon style. We got some of the white carded figures from the original 2003-ish card line, and everything in between, mainly focused on mint on card single action figures, but I do have a few vehicles and box sets at the end of the video, and I was just kind of curious to see what prices would look like for a lot of these items, especially with the new Ahsoka show and the references to the Clone Wars. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dig right into some of the single carded figures first. I thought this was a fantastic deal. This was for a lot of 7 the Tartakovsky style animated Clone Wars figures, and it was $50 for the set plus $9.88 shipping, and it included Asajj Ventress, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Count Dooku, Anakin again, so 2 different Anakins there, and you got Mace Windu and Dirge. So what an awesome set. I absolutely love the style of these figures, and they look fantastic. In a different world, I would have a massive Clone Wars set. I just love the Clone Wars figures, both the animated style as well as kind of the more realistic style, but I just don't have the space for them. And I mean, $50 for that set was just an amazing deal on that. Next up, we've got Pre Vizsla. This is a figure we've covered in past Clone Wars updates, and a great looking figure there. And this one has the battle game card packed in, and the next few are going to have that. This one sold for $70 plus $12 shipping, but great figure sculpt there. Really looks like the Cartoon Network version of Pre Vizsla there. Next up, we've got the Mandalorian Warrior. This one sold for $53 in an auction plus $10 shipping. That's another good looking figure, and I think I've got the box set for that entire Mandalorian set later on in the video. Next up, we've got Clone Captain Locke. This was a Kmart exclusive. This seller had 3 available. One of them did sell for $70 free shipping. He still has 2 available, so if that's one you're looking for, but that's a pretty interesting looking figure there. Great looking sculpt. Next up, we've got Clone Commander Colt. This one's a very popular one and very expensive. This one sold in an auction for $138.50 plus $8.55 shipping. So Clone Commander Colt. Next up, we've got one that I hadn't really seen before. I vaguely remember him from the cartoons, but this is Serapis, or Serapis, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but this is that little guy that was inside the big robotic suit, and you can see him right there, the little alien on the left-hand side there, and he fits inside the suit. So this is a pretty cool one that I've forgotten about, I guess. I just don't remember seeing this one available for sale in the past, but this one sold for $81 on 17 bids. Even loose and incomplete, this figure can sell for over $50. So that apparently is a pretty low manufactured batch there, because he's fairly expensive. $81 on that one, free shipping. Next up, we've got CW44. We all know this one. This was always one that is pretty popular. This one did have a little bit of edge wear, and you can see on the back of the card there at the bottom, around the corners there, it did have some edge wear to it, so that kept the price down maybe just a little bit. I've seen this one sell for as high as $175 recently, but obviously Ahsoka, the CW44, is a pretty popular one, and that one sold for $114 on 27 bids. So as you can tell, that one continues to be very popular. Next up, we've got some of the white carded, the white cards for the Clone Wars, and first up is let's see, Clone Commander Stone. This is another one that I don't particularly remember, but this one sold for $68.97 free shipping. So pretty good looking card. It did have some edge wear to it. You can see some creases. That's the biggest problem with, I think, the Clone Wars figures. If you're like an OCD collector and you like to have them in super mint condition, there's just so many nooks and crannies to a lot of these cards that they can get beat up pretty easily. And given that, some of these date back almost 20 years now, or more than 20 years, that they're just hard to find in super clean condition. But even this one, with the creases on the card, it still sold for almost $70. This is another one I don't remember, but this is a firefighter droid. Pretty interesting looking figure there. It's the first time I've seen this one, but I don't follow the Clone Wars very regularly, so I'm sure that there's been plenty of these that have sold, but pretty cool looking figure there. I like the way that looks with that big fire hose. That one sold for $60 plus $8.55 shipping. Next up, we've got a pretty infamous one. This is the Darth Maul on the Canadian/international card. This has got all of the international or Canadian cards have this Yoda with the green background and the multi-language on the back there. So, pretty cool looking figure. I love how Darth Maul's got those robotic legs. Great looking figure. That one sold for $100 plus $8.15 shipping. So that continues to be a pretty popular and expensive one. Another one that we all know and love and continues to command big money on the secondary market is the Clone Wars style for Darth Sidious. Absolutely love that card back. I mean, it's just great looking card. And that one sold in an auction for $172.50 plus $5.50 shipping. So 21 bids on that. And Darth Sidious in that animated style just continues to command big money. I haven't seen any slowdown at all in the price for that one. Next up was a beautiful example of the Clone Wars Ahsoka signed by Ashley Eckstein, and I thought that was a great buy. $150, only one bid on that, considering how tough it is to find that one signed by Ashley Eckstein. She just has such a beautiful autograph, and she did a great job of not smudging the kind of rounded box on that one. It did have a little bit of edge wear around the antenna for the helmet on the packaging, but wow, what a beautiful looking signature on that. And that one again sold for $150, which I thought was a great buy. Next up, let's dig into some vehicles, and I was kind of curious to see how the BARC speeders would sell, and I haven't really seen an increase in sales when I looked at only BARC speeders. I just figured with the new Ahsoka show and with Sabine Wren kind of featuring that kind of interesting Clone Wars style speeder, I would expect more of them to sell, but that apparently is not the case. But apparently this seller had 6 of them available. They were just loose BARC speeders, and those sold for $250 for 6 of them. So kind of an interesting sale there. I love this one, of course. This is the Juggernaut Turbo Tank, and wow, what an awesome item. I would love to have one of these loose and displayed on my shelf if I had the space for it. But this one did sell. It was 100% complete and advertised as working with lights and sound. One of those items that harkens back to a different time for retail when something like this would actually appear at retail. But what an awesome looking Juggernaut. This one sold for $197.50 in an auction, plus another $96 shipping. So $300 basically for a loose complete Juggernaut. Next up, we've got the Republic Gunship. This is the Toys R Us exclusive in the white box packaging. That one sold for $480 plus another $18.85 shipping. So about $500 for a mint and sealed box Republic Gunship. So this is one I would think that Hasbro would take advantage of and either do some kind of massive, HasLab or, a Pulse exclusive or SDCC exclusive where they could reuse this mold, because I'm sure there would be demand from collectors for this if it was ever reissued. But $480 plus $18 shipping on that one. Next up, we've got an ATTE, and this one was loose. This one sold for $195 plus $21 shipping. And then I also had one still mint and sealed box. This is a beautiful example of the exact same item, the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. And this is probably my second favorite vehicle behind the Turbo Tank, but this one did sell in an auction, only one bid, but it sold for $370 plus $25 shipping. So almost $400 for that one, mint and sealed box, and the packaging looked to be in really great shape overall. So beautiful example there. Next up, this is one I do have in my collection. I've got the Battle of Christophsis, and this was a Target exclusive, and it had the kind of, small chicken walker, the Clone Wars style chicken walker, along with the droid battle tank there. Pretty great looking box set. And this one sold for $200 plus $40 shipping. So about $240 for that battle pack. Next up, we've got the Mandalorian Assault Transport. This is one that's moved up in price quite a bit. Maybe because it's been featured in various Disney Plus media, but, for a while there, this was not that expensive. This was going for less than $100 or so last year. Based on my memory, I just remember these being fairly inexpensive, and I said, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if these start to go up in price a little bit. And sure enough, that's exactly what they've done. This one sold in an auction for $253, free shipping. So, wow, that's a pretty big price jump. And again, I'm going on memory. I just vaguely remember that these were not very expensive, and then once they really got featured in season 3 of The Mandalorian, they really kind of jumped up in price. But $253 for that one, free shipping. Next up here is that Mandalorian Warriors Battle Pack. This is an awesome battle pack. I actually almost bought this one a couple of different times over the years, but this one was in pretty good shape, just minor edge wear to the box, but that's just got a great packaging. I love how a lot of these had the packaging with kind of a diorama insert and really displayed nicely inside the box. But that battle pack did sell in an auction for $187.50 plus $12.55 shipping. But even single carded, they can continue to be in very high demand. But that multi-pack was a beautiful example, and that one did sell for about $200 after shipping. And then finally, this is another one I don't particularly remember seeing before, but this was a gift set for the 104th Battalion Wolfpack Clone Troopers. So this one apparently is pretty expensive, but this is the first time I've ever seen this one. It's got Plo Koon along with 3 different clone troopers, and this gift set sold for $280, free shipping on that one. So that one must have been one that was not readily available at shipping. And I'm sure Mike S., who has a pretty extensive modern collection for different Star Wars lines, I'm sure he can fill you in the comments below with some of the others that maybe I skipped over for this video. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you got that I did not cover in this video that you think are items that continue to command a lot of money on the secondary market. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon.